listening to the Local Earshot Podcast with your host, Johnathan Grissom. Let's talk about music.
It's a riff made by David. He calls it potato salad.
It's catchy. I like it. It's nice.
I actually need to share the stage with David Carlisle.
No, we're going to talk about it. We're gonna talk about that shit. Hello, everybody. This is Johnathan Grissom of More Bands Media and the Local Earshot Podcast. I am here with Straight White Buffalo Cotton White, and I am also here with my buddy that I haven't seen in a while because he's always working. Wilson's here inside the house. So, how's everybody doing?
So far, so good.
Make working sound like a bad thing. We're all working all the time.
Y'all
It
work.
works for jerks, don't you know?
Work. No. Stupid ass Rihanna song. All right, so we got Straight White Buffalo, and first off, I wanted to say thanks, and if anybody's actually going to watch this episode, because I haven't done an episode since March, so it's been almost a year on hiatus, but we finally got a studio set up. I finally got settled in somewhat into my apartment. So I will be booking shows and trying to bring bands here at least once a week. I have several different rooms I can use. Can also do remotes. So if anybody wants to do an episode, just reach out to me at john@thelocalearshot.com. The website's being revamped right now. I'm getting it all good to go. So that should be up and running by the end of the week. Yeah. How you doing, Cotton?
I am living the dream.
Yeah.
Just full-time and starving artist right now, so.
Yeah, I've seen that you've been doing a lot of events, like with what do you call it, like the Rumble and all that stuff.
Oh
and, like,
yeah,
all those
that's
events.
been a lot of fun. Right now, the at least where I'm at as an artist and what have you, is really just like my objective right now is scene building. I'd like to think.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of I'll get drunk and I'll read like whimsical sayings and think a little too deep in them, like about what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and I'm trying to gander it up, and goose it up too. Don't get me wrong, but nonetheless, so the scene building aspect of it, just like help everybody. What little influence I have, just it's the more quality there is as a scene, the better it is for everybody, you know.
Has either one of you heard of the Oklahoma Music Awards thing? There's
No.
a person doing that. Have you seen that?
No, I didn't.
I don't know who she is. I'm like trying to understand if it's like actually serious or if it's a real thing or if she's like.
I don't know if it's a real thing or not. I've heard of it. I haven't actually.
There's a lot of posts.
Yeah, there's a lot of posts. I haven't actually seen anything that she's done.
I must not follow that page.
It's on our group page. So, and you're an admin on the group page. This is why I ask if you've seen it. No, yeah, no, the person that runs it, like I've seen her post a lot of stuff about it and about like it coming up, and there's all these people working with her and like all this stuff, but I haven't seen anything else like that really shows that there's a real serious thing going on in the background that there, and then maybe there is, you know.
I
that's why,
sure hope so.
so I'm not going to talk bad about her, you know. I don't know her. I'm friends with her on Facebook.
It's certainly an
but-
exciting prospect,
Yeah.
which I'm certain I'll totally be invited at some capacity.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. That's another thing. That's why I asked artists, because, like, you know, they're supposed to be reaching out to artists to be a part of it and to submit their music and all that kind of stuff to be a part of it. Like, she says that she likes all music, and so I don't know, because, like, most of the people that are in her friends list that I looked over were mostly, like, hip-hop artists and stuff like that. And so if she's in that community in the scene, then we probably wouldn't know
I'll
much
also
about it,
say
'cause-
it's hard. Like, I'll carry some water for her and myself, respectively. You get kind of like, at least me, 100%. Like, I'm trying my darndest to like be active in the scene and whatnot. And I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm not outside of a very specific bubble. Like I'm kind of doing the 2-piece rock and roll bands at the moment. So like all of my my buddies and contacts and whatnot that I'm working with actively are all 2-piece bands, which is a really niche thing. I get. I'm hoping that kind of becomes like an odd staple of Oklahoma City in a certain way. I mean, just there's a lot of them, or a lot of us, I should say, doing the 2-piece thing, and it's a really odd thing. And not to say like I'm prejudiced towards full actual bands with like bass players and stuff. Just like more obviously more than just 2 people. It's kind of absurd and almost a novelty doing the 2-piece thing. But I don't know. I definitely want to expand and just like start working with and reaching out to like the all bands. You know what I mean? Like not just my little 2-piece community that I've kind of found.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you have a sound that like features like people like Hollis and bands like that. That very like Zeppelin type sound, I guess you'd say. We've always talked about that like you have this like very heavy rock and roll like sound, which is really, but it's really good though. Like you can play like so.
That's an odd thing because like most of the bands I've ever played with throughout my entire career, there's not a lot of like bands just doing rock. You know what I mean? It's always like, and I mean, we're just as guilty, I guess, but I chalk us, or what I do, up as rock and roll. And most of like our peers are punk rock bands or like metal bands or something. Just like hardly anybody actually claims rock anymore.
Yeah.
At least in my orbit, that's not to say that's everywhere all over by any stretch.
Was that the Filthy Hounds?
The Filth Hounds.
The Filth Hounds. Yeah, they. I know whenever Kevin like did that one, he said, or started that or whatever. I don't know if he's still in the band, but they say that they're rock and roll. That's what Kevin says that he is. That he's rock and roll. But he also plays with a bunch of people that are punk, and so it's all just like punk rock and stuff. And I think I could literally just start a whole podcast about the punk scene out here, just because like that's a scene in itself. Like it's kind of hard to do a mix of everything.
Yeah, I'll say like at least I mean there's scenes of all kinds of. There's probably a reggae scene. I mean we got Reggae Fest and what have you. I have no idea. Who
I go to
where those are.
Yeah,
I used to go to Reggae Fest every year. That was my one little thing in Bricktown I did, but I've been slacking for a long time. But I digress. We used to always get paired up with metal bands. I mean, every band I've ever been a part of is always, like, back in the heyday, was always playing with metal bands. And then now for, like, the past couple of years, I feel like a couple years, I'd say 2-3 years, it's all punk bands now. And, I mean, we are not punk whatsoever. Like, I mean, we're some rock and roll rebels, but, I mean, as far as, like, punk aesthetic and punk music, we don't do that.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, and then you have the what is the other scene that we always see all the time, like the DJ scene, with all the DJs and stuff. And they're playing like Linwood. What is that place called? Pet Shop.
Oh, the Pet Shop.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I went to one show there. My nephew and my nephew. His first show we ever played was at the Pet Shop, and I went there. It was a huge to do. Like there was like the Costanzas were playing. Just it was like an all-day thing, and I mean it was like, in my opinion, a smashing success of a show. So like that's the only gosh, that Zero Dr. Pepper's getting me. I was talking all that noise about don't drink the Zero stuff, and here I am.
Yeah, I mean, you stop sniffing glue though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although like
okay.
that one's still, it's a hard one to stay kicked, but. I keep a stick on me just in case. It's like break glass,
If you really want to know that joke, you got to go back and listen to one of the very first episodes of the show that he did. It was a Halloween episode, I think it was, when that one happened, and we were talking about which he has a song called this, but was it truck stop
gas station
gas station
sex pills.
gas
No
station sex
particular
pills.
brand.
No particular brand, because that's who they're sponsored by is gas station sex pills. So there was that on that episode, and then we were talking about like aliens and shit, like just
people
crazy.
say there's no money in music.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's definitely no money in music podcasting. I know that.
Well,
It's the money in music podcasting is in like another world or something like that. I see like in the time frame that I've been doing this, I looked at another podcast. Like I was going through pages on Facebook, and I was looking at this lady's page, and it was something called like Foodies in Oklahoma or some shit. And she has a
heck yeah,
podcast,
sign me up
and
for that
and
one.
literally signed up like around the same, literally about 2 year, like about a year and a half ago, and she has 39,000 followers, and all her podcast does is talk about Oklahoma City food.
Hey,
Yeah, it's because you can get plenty of people to go eat at a local restaurant. You can't hardly get anybody to come to a fucking local show anymore, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean
At
it's
least
hard.
not on a regular
Depending.
basis.
Yeah, I mean your regulars like Grand, they show up, but people have their venues.
I'm not talking about
That-
the
that's a
regulars. I
problem.
just mean like getting a regular surplus of people coming in all the time, because I have people asking me regularly, like, so you doing anything this weekend? Do you know anything that's happening this weekend? I'm like, yeah, you can check out anything that's going on here locally. Like Eventbrite talks about a lot of local shows too.
Mhm.
And everybody's like, oh, I don't know if I want to go out. We might go to dinner or something.
Yeah, there's a one called Fan Wire.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's called Fan
People find any excuse to go to dinner, but they won't find an excuse to go to a show.
Fan
I think
Wave.
it's
I
interesting.
mean, what every single listener here needs to do, if especially those in the metro, is follow Straight White Buffalo on Facebook, Instagram, and then you'll know what actually to do on the weekends.
Yeah, just
There we go. There you
revolving
go.
all
Just
around
us.
your band.
Yeah.
Follow you
Exactly.
to Margarita Island, to the Grand, to was it the next coming up show is Speakeasy,
The 51st Street Speakeasy.
and that's gonna be
Oklahoma
tomorrow,
City.
like
That
or
is-
Friday,
no,
Or
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah,
It's
I don't,
not a
I don't know if
school
this one's
night.
gonna be out before then, but I'm gonna try. I don't know if
Well,
I'll
it
be able
is
to-
what it is.
Yeah, I
That's
mean-
January 17th in case this.
Oh,
is
it's the
after
17th
fact,
coming up.
yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I plan on actually going to that show.
2026. Hey, there's something to do. This is probably going to come out after the fact, but your ghost can go with old Jonathan Grissom to Speakeasy and keep him company at a Straight White Buffalo show. Jiminy Willikers.
Yeah, I definitely need it. No.
It's so unnatural to be like self-plug. Like I
Yeah.
feel so shameless, but I just like I'm coming to terms with I just got to embrace it.
No, I mean you have to promote yourself.
Yeah, life's
That-
been
that's the
rough
number
on
one
us
rule in
traveling
life. You
T-shirt
ha-
salesman.
If you're not promoting yourself, then you're not promoting anything. Like
yeah, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people if they don't know that bands exist or these events exist, then they don't they won't go. And if people that's the biggest issue with like Facebook and stuff, is that people get sick and tired of having to post events on Facebook. And that's what I was trying to do with all the admins on Local Earshot, was I was trying to get it where they would just all post there in as one group. All the admins are there. They run the venues. They do all the stuff. They post there. Then they don't have to and they can also post in their other ones, but just pick that group to post to. So I can set up events on there and then invite people from the group into these events. But nobody uses it. Nobody does
I'm nobody.
anything
too.
it's supposed to do. But at the same time, it gets so overwhelming. I mean, I understand it, because I've had many conversations with Destiny and Diatribe, and how it gets so overwhelming trying to do all these apps. On top of it, you're trying to book shows. On top of it, you're trying to run a bar. You're trying to run the venue, the bar, orders, things like that. You're trying to do all this shit together, which you're trying to stop cussing. I'm over here cussing up a storm, but whatever. But yeah, it just becomes too much, and so then you just slowly start pushing down. We try to record an episode. I had so much stuff going on in my life, I never got to put the episode out because I had no time to edit. I was literally working to try to make bills and stuff, because everybody's struggling with that stuff now. So it's I was just working and trying to get everything done, and it didn't happen.
Hey, I
So-
feel you. I'm a little band guy, and we still haven't released any freaking music. And I was, I need to revert and check out the older episodes. It's I'm sure one of the last episodes that we were on, I'm like, oh, here any minute.
Yeah, you were like, oh, we're gonna work with recorders and we're gonna build this thing, and yeah.
Well, we've recorded. I mean, not everything's finished.
I mean, but you were going through a lot back then, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because you're done with all of that legal crap that you were going through.
Yep,
right?
it's all just pay the trolls their tolls and move on with my motley life.
Yeah.
And stay out of trouble.
Stay out of
kids,
trouble.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, watch out that drunk driving. It's so much fun, but it's not worth it, children.
For those of you that don't know, Cotton White has a special on KFOR about his little journey. I'm kidding. That's not my phrase.
I got my doctorate in DUI, okay? If anybody is
A
paid,
doctorate. Yeah, but that story is messed up, though. I mean, the way, that's why we did the whole free Cotton White thing, because, like, everybody was like, man, that's ridiculous, like, getting it for that reason, you know? And it's like, and you weren't even planning on driving, so it's like, what the fuck do you do, you know, in that situation? But I get it. I understand the law, and I understand the rules, and people shouldn't drink and drive. If you are going to drink and drive, maybe don't. Give me a call. I'm an Uber, Lyft driver on the side. I can come get you. Like,
I think that's a very big thing with a lot of artists. I've had a lot of filmmaker friends, music friends, get DUIs over stupid shit, and now they're having like a DUI over having, like, what, a medical vape in the car.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
about
If you have a vape, according to this law, I don't know exactly how it's going to be enforced, but if you have a marijuana vape on you in your car, then you can get a DUI just for having it on you.
Yeah, it's like open container.
And if an individual in your car has one, you can get a DUI.
And
in
just
your
so
own car.
you know, you
if your passenger smokes weed in your car, for one thing, I believe that should get a DUI, but that will also get you a DUI. If your passengers are obviously drinking, you can get a DUI. Open container, other rules. You might, I don't know. You might know more about this stuff than I do, but like
I do have a doctorate.
But I'm just saying, like, you know, it's kind of weird how the law is, because they'll say, oh, well, we're gonna give you a DUI.
Well, they keep changing the law for one. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you
But I feel like the marijuana industry is taking a hit right now.
yeah, no,
so.
that got really greasy. It shouldn't be the way that they're it's fishy business. I don't understand what is going on there. It's I think it's a bunch of just like, not to sound silly about it, but a bunch of boomers are just like, oh, well, weed is still bad. Like,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then,
yeah.
like, you know,
Even though that
it's
it's
a hard
curing
drug.
it's curing people of SSRIs and helping people live good lives. It's making people healthier. They're losing weight. Like there are certain things that are happening with this that like people don't know about. You know, different strains do different things. Like,
Well,
you know.
they've historically, we've done this before. Back when they, like, everybody knows prohibition, right? Still plenty of counties that are still dry.
Mhm.
Whenever they brought it back and you were allowed to drink socially, have liquor stores, whatever, is when they started later enforcing like DUIs and
Mhm.
everything. It used to be they just beat the fuck out of you, but now they can call it a name and slap a charge on you and change
Yeah.
the course of your life indefinitely.
Mhm.
And now I know that that's exactly why they did it when they made it medical in Oklahoma, is because they're like, oh yeah, this will be a great thing for the state, knowing that the government is going to come in on the back end and like collect what they could.
Mhm.
Now it's DUIs. It could be like other kinds of incarceration.
Yep.
I had a buddy who had over 2 pounds of flour on him, and he didn't get in trouble at all. He got in trouble because he was going over 100 in a school zone.
Shit.
And so
This-
it's that, but it's like there's way more to it. It's the government wouldn't allow it to be a thing if they couldn't be making money off it somehow.
Right. It's the problem solution theory.
This is
They create it
absolute.
and-
Like, this isn't based on any specific thing I read. This is me with my tinfoil hat. But if I were guessing, I bet you Big Pharma probably has plenty to do with why they crack down so
well,
heavily on
basically what happened recently, and I don't know how many people know about this, but like, well, we were, me and my girlfriend were going to Dinks, right? Like it's right next
Dinks
to Blue Note.
Wellness Emporium. I
Yeah.
hate those commercials so
Right,
bad.
but they're one of the best dispensaries whenever it comes to like big dispensary brands here, and so I went by Blue Note and I was going over Dinks, and there was a sign on the door, and it said, "Closed temporarily due to licensing issues" or something like that. The one in Norman got raided, and like they busted in with guns, put people on the ground that were patients on the ground. It was the Oklahoma ATF, and they went in there and they just basically shut it down, all because they were still allowing people to buy weed out of the jar whenever they were told by the state, according to them. Now, I don't know what the truth is, but what they were told, but to a bunch of these high-end brands, they were told that they could go until about mid-November. They had a date on it. What they did was they busted in there right before that date, and then they got them all, and they shut them all down, and they intentionally called it, that they were abusing their thing or whatever. And then a bunch of other ones got shut down that were major brands. They're all the major brand ones. Pete got the location is offline right now. It all says that it's related to licensing issues, that they didn't renew their license right or
I
something.
wonder how many Walgreens
And-
got busted like this.
Yeah, and exactly. Like my argument
that's what happened
is
at
this.
Albertsons.
Like my argument is this. Like a person can smoke a joint and pretty much go to jail, possibly get a DUI, whatever it is. A person could be on narcotics that are prescribed by a doctor, by an actual doctor, because they don't allow weed to be prescribed by an actual doctor. They call bud tenders, like they're just bud tenders, they're not doctors, And then they say, oh, you got to go to a doctor to get the recommendation, and then those other people are allowed to prescribe you.
So the bud tenders
In
aren't
other words, they're
pharmacists?
pharmacists. They're pharmacists, and that's the thing is that my problem with the industry is that they don't take it serious. In other words, they need to start calling these bud tenders bud pharmacist, and they need to start embracing the pharma industry of like names and stuff, because if they don't do that, then you could still have the fun names in the store, but if you want to talk about the actual weed names, they do have scientific names, and so you have to give it that scientific name on paper. And the reason why is because then it will be taken more serious. But what they do is that they don't take them serious, and then they try to shut them down. And then a lot of, and the problem is the other part of it is that a lot of dispensaries are started by people that were ex-drug dealers and stuff. They're doing corrupt shit. So then what happens to them? They can't run the industry anymore. So it just becomes this thing.
To some of them, I don't know how many of them could actually keep going. I remember a buddy of mine named John came to me and he said that, hey man, I want to start a dispensary. And I was like, yeah? Why? He's like, because it's legal now. Everybody's doing it. I'm like, it's not legal. It's medicinal. It's not like people could just walk in and get it. He's like, yeah, that's what I want your help with. You study like sales and marketing and stuff. You could probably help me run it as a successful business. It's like, bro, I've known you for like over 10 years, and in that whole decade, you haven't had a job. I don't know about like starting a business with you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, we do business all the time. I'm like, selling weed out of your mom's basement is not. I wouldn't consider that.
Yeah,
like
it's not a
doing.
business.
He's been waiting for this moment.
Yeah, he was waiting for the moment his whole time. He got a $30,000 loan from his mom to get in on this.
I wish I had a rich mom.
And there were
I love
was
my
like-
mom,
Wish
but
you
I
had a
would.
rich
I would-
mom,
I would-
too.
Yeah, I wish, man.
at the same intersection. There were
I'd
like
grow a
four.
whole industry with that.
There was a dispensary on each other street around where he started, and it happened like you guys all saw how many dispensaries opened
Oh,
up at
yeah.
the same time.
Yep.
There were real estate signs saying like for sale, please, not another dispensary. And it's just, I don't know how many of them would have actually stayed in business. I think it's been a great thing for the state. I think for some people it really has changed their lives. I think, a lot of people were on the right track even before it became medicinal. With the whole talk of it being illegal again, I don't know how that's actually going to go down. I think it's one of those things where now it's like too big to fail almost, because more than half the states have it medically. I never thought it'd be like that in my lifetime here in Oklahoma. Like, I heard about it becoming legal or medical in California back in like 2008. I figured a place like that would get it. I never thought it'd make its way all the way here to the middle of the states.
I
But
thought we'd be last.
yeah, I really
I
thought
literally
we'd be
thought
last.
we would be last.
Yeah,
I
and
guess
in some
Texas is
places
gonna
it's
get
still
last.
like you go into Arkansas, right? Like you're going over to Fort Smith or whatever. They've got cops like waiting at the border by the dispensaries, knowing that people are coming over, buying from here
And
and
then
then
going
taking
right
it
back
back
to
over
their state.
because it's not
Yeah.
medicinal over in Arkansas. It's not legal there. So
Yep.
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's
to
the
me.
same with Kansas, I think, right?
It's the
They're
same with
doing it.
Kansas.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
they're busting
sad. So
people.
I'm the Ryan in the band Straight White Buffalo is a huge pothead, and I don't smoke weed at all anymore. This is a weed podcast now.
Apparently, I don't know. It just got on that subject, but yeah.
This is the new agenda.
Yeah. new
geez.
agenda. Yeah.
I mean, I'm
No.
not hair follicle clean anymore, but
I mean, apparently the show was more popular whenever we talked about stuff like that. So,
yeah, he's like, oh, this is
Have
sponsored.
you ever tried DMT?
oh my god,
This is
I
sponsored
gotta
by
love
Dank
Brad, man.
Sequoia.
I saw him recently and hung out with him. He was doing all right.
Yeah. How is Brad the Wonder Man?
He's doing good. He's working in Kaiser, like works with them, and I think that it's more his place. I think that the show kind of gave him a bunch of skills that he could use in that industry. I think it really helped him.
Kaiser's the one that makes the guitars, right?
I always thought it was Kaiser.
Is it
but-
I thought it was
Kaiser?
Kaiser too.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm
Kaiser,
not gonna-
Kaiser guitars. Yeah, the guy is in the Air Force, and his
Right
last
on.
name is that.
I've seen their advertisements for years, and they look like quality made guitars.
Mhm.
You know, something that I wanted to ask about, in particular, just like having you specifically on the show, Cotton. Like, would you have any advice for people, you know, wanting to get into the music scene, regardless of what instrument they play? We were talking about guitars; it just made me think of it. Do you have any advice for like any fresh bands, like rock bands specifically, wanting to like try to get out there and try to be more local, and like what steps would you tell them to take in order to kind of try to make it into the scene?
Man, definitely. Your open mics, like, there's so many people that think that's beneath them or that's not the right thing. But just getting connected with other artists and other musicians, and not only out of the networking aspect, but just to work on yourself. Like, so like doing open mics, that set me up with so many chops, and like I was done too deep doing for too long doing music, where I felt like that was so beneath me. It's like, dude, I don't need to do that. But it's all about having the correct expectations, like all the time. I mean, I'd love to be rolling in the shekels, but we'll get to that in the future.
This is
But,
America. We don't have shekels, but just for those of you who don't know,
That means money, guys. Okay. Anywho,
Crypto.
No,
He needs
no,
the
not
crypto.
I missed that train. But
Me too.
really, just I don't know, like having the correct expectations, and giving a hoot about the other people doing it. You know, it's so easy to get caught up and have your head up your own butt. See, it doesn't sound that good not cussing. I'm trying though, like I'm trying so hard. But anywho, but yeah, just like, I mean, the other bands that you get to know, those relationships, like, and it's not always all hunky dory. There are situations and people that are just jerks and whatnot, but more often than not, almost everybody's just like, we're all the freaking same. We're just a bunch of people working jobs, you know, freaking trying to do music. Like, I just I can't say the H word scares me. I can't associate that with music. Hobby is the H word.
Right.
That's not my hobby.
No,
I was
think,
thinking of at least 16 other H's, like H words, when you said that.
Now I'm
I
really
was like,
curious
oh.
about what these 16 H words are.
The first one was heroin, which we're not going to get into that.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I mean, that's bad. Don't get me
Oh,
wrong,
God.
but as a word, yeah. It's like, son of a hair. I'm like, yeah, that actually works. But anywho, ha ha ha. But I don't know. Get to know your bands,
Instead of calling
man.
somebody a son of a bitch,
Just
you're
go
like,
to
you're like son of a
shows.
heroin addict.
The big thing is go to shows, make yourself known, and in the sense of like kissing babies and shaking hands, man. That's like so much of it is just being a part of the scene. And when you're actually a part of the scene, like, then get in and do it, you know, like, go to shows and get to know bands. And, you know what, after you've gotten to know them, it's like, hey, dude, like, throw a dog a bone. I mean, that's the kick I'm on right now. Like, I mean, it's just trying to help everybody out. One of the things that that's been brought to my attention over the years, a great many times, is like running into these old the red dirt rock stars that came out of OKC and whatnot. Those dudes, they tell me about why the red dirt scene blew up like it did. They were all pulling each other up, and that's so cool. And there's not a lot of that now. You got a handful of people that get real gatekeepy, and but that's not everybody by any stretch. And
I think a lot of gatekeeping comes from like music producers specifically. Like, hey man, how did you make them sound like that? It's like, oh, if I did that, I couldn't tell you. You know,
Trade secret.
yeah, trade secrets with like producers specifically. But I think that a lot of the times we see bands out there and we all think that they're like all for each other, against each other. You know, they Wired did an interview with Paul McCartney. I don't know if you've seen it. If you haven't, I'll send it to you because it's incredible. And he talked about like the feud with was it the Rolling Stones? And it's like everybody said that for like years. But we were all friends. We all performed at the same venues. Like we knew the same people because it's like a very small circle up at the top of like everybody. So like what most people don't know, like Ozzy, whenever he met Sharon's dad was like one of the biggest music producers in the UK at the time. And he didn't fucking like him. He's like, look, I don't want you talking to this boy anymore. I can't do a British accent. I'm not going to do it. He's like, I don't want you talking to this boy anymore. He's crazy. I can tell he does drugs, which back then was like whatever
He
weed
was
was
not
at the
wrong
time.
at all.
He wasn't wrong, but he was just crazy. And so finally, Sharon said, like, just give him a chance, just give him a chance. And then Black Sabbath kind of like took off. And that's when they were recording stuff in like a meat truck. You know, they were recording in the back of a truck at the time that they did like their first album. But like even then, in this one that I saw with Paul McCartney later, they said that they whenever they came to the U.S., which the one time that they successfully did, they came over to like California. They got to stay with Elvis Presley. He bought a bunch of houses and he owned a lot of real estate out there because it's cheaper than just staying in hotels, right? And I don't know how much he was making at the time, but it was like right after his peak. And so then when Beatlemania and all these other British bands came through, they kind of knocked him off his perch. He was no longer the king of rock, right? And so whenever one of the a big hotshot said like, "Hey, do you guys want to meet Elvis Presley?" And not only did they get to meet him, but Elvis let them stay at one of his houses over in California. And they all got to sit down. They all got to see his house, and they were all like huge fans. They knew that they had knocked him off his perch, and they thought he'd be mad about it. But he was super cool. He invited them in. He had like one of the first big television sets that had a remote control at the time, which is crazy. It took like 20 minutes for the TV to fucking turn on and 2 minutes for the channel to change, whatever. And he saw like a bass guitar in the corner, and apparently that was like one of Elvis's favorite instruments was bass. And so Paul McCartney got to talk to him about that and kind of like jive with them a little bit. And it's just crazy to see, like, you think that a lot of bands are just kind of like in competition with each other, but they're really not. Like a lot of the times people are pretty cool because they're all trying to do the same thing, you know.
And usually a lot of that competition, like what I learned at ACM, is created by the fans, not by them.
yeah.
So like
nobody gives a
like
shit.
by
like
us.
people, you know, you have your people that are what do you call it, Rolling Stones or the Beatles, like they're either one.
Yeah,
And-
right. Metallica
and
negative. you
Yeah,
know, like
Metallica made it death. Like there's these rivalries. That's what they call them, just rivalries. But they actually help each other because like whenever one artist does one thing, like the Rolling Stones did something, and then out of nowhere, like they were like, oh, we got to outdo them. So then they come up with Sgt. Pepper. Like they follow each other, and they start like there. And then the Beach Boys came out, and then they were like, oh, we gotta compete with them, you know. And the Beach Boys were way different than the Beatles, and they're so they're sound wise, they're not quite the same, like how they play and how they sing and everything like that, the style of music, but they're considered to be rivalries. And yet, like a lot of times you find out that, yeah, they're friends. Like the story you were telling, like that documentary, I watched that at ACM, like actually. And so, I mean, that showed that they were friends, that you know, that it was just a thing that they did. They put on a show. And so they had to put on an image. And that's why I say, like, a lot of times when you see things on TV and you see all this, like, way that they act toward each other, pay attention to what they do. Like even in government, you know, like they eat at the same luncheons together. They eat at the same events, the same raising money together. They're making jokes. They're laughing. They're high fiving. Then 2 days later, they're in on some court seat going. This person's a piece of shit, and you should never vote for him. Like it's like, but you were just shaking his hand and giving him a hug like 2 days ago at a charity event. The fuck out of here.
Right.
Like
So-
it's a show. Like it's
so, like,
all acting.
all-
Every bit of it is like a lot of it's acting.
It's like
So-
all of our little two-piece bands that we made a little community out of, and it's been so much fun. It's been really rewarding, like just all around.
And And it goes back about 2 years at this point.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
no.
it was started out at like, what is it? The shows at like Point A.
Point A, yeah, that was the
Yeah.
first show. That was the first time I met these guys. Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, coming up to that, like, I've really, I have a hard time remembering how it actually very first was birthed and how I actually met like Chuck from the Rumble and whatnot. How I actually first met him because he was the guy behind putting it all together, and just getting to meet those guys. And we have this running feud that like between the Rumble, Lowdown Weasel, and our band Straight White Buffalo, like that we just hate each other. So it's a big joke.
Yeah, it really is.
And,
And that's the thing is, if you know the bands and you watch it, you're like, yeah, they're just jabbing at each other for
I
fun.
really am curious about how
Yeah.
many people out there that probably do take that serious and think that we really do hate each other or something like. Which that's all the more fun in my opinion. But
It could be like a media thing where they like try to pin people against each other for the sake of more views and more listens and stuff like that too. Which I don't know how much that's actually controlled. I do have a lot of mad respect for duos, like a lot of the time. So I followed Mike Hosty's career pretty closely.
oh heck yeah.
And so like I saw him when he did a solo show at like a speed painting thing in Norman one time, did the whole thing by himself, just like what you'd see him do at JJ's Alley today. And then he went on to do the Hosty duo. I forget who was partnered with him at the time that he was doing that, but that's when he started to go on tour. He had a song on The Cat. Then it was like Hosty Trio, and then he went back to just being solo, I guess. And then
His
he started
one-man band.
his one-man band, and
Yeah,
then
and
teaching
he's
at ACM.
also he's a teacher at ACM, and he was my music cultural teacher, and I learned so much about music history from him. And I mean, that wasn't even just in class. Like I would have conversations with him in the hallways and like out, there whenever I was just working on some homework, and we would just have a minute to just hang out and talk, and like I would take his brain on like the music industry. I mean, that guy is knowledgeable of the music history of America, or even of Oklahoma. Like he makes all these connections to Oklahoma. And I mean, and it's wild. Like the history of music is probably one of the most fascinating things, because it's like, ironically, the Fertile Crescent, which was caused by the dinosaurs, causes a line that goes from Hawaii all the way up to England, and it goes right through the U.S., right through the South, and all the way to England. What do these three places have in common? The South, England, and Hawaii. They turned out more musicians out of these locations than any other places at the time. Whenever all these instruments were being created, surf guitar comes out of Hawaii, and it was made out of wood that came from soil that was from the Fertile Crescent. The cotton that was picked in the South. Slavery is bad. It's all evil, but it's all part of history. If it wasn't for that history, you wouldn't have jazz. You wouldn't have soul. You wouldn't have blues. You wouldn't have any of these musics that were created out of the slave culture that was there, that they were all singing and stuff while they were working. And then when you go to England, and there was like all these famous artists, the Beatles, was it Bruce Springsteen, like all these famous people that came out of Europe. Like you wouldn't have any of that.
God, what the fuck is Mike Hosty smoking? I gotta get me
and
some
it
of
goes
that.
all the way back to the dinosaurs. It's in books, like it's in the popular music book. Like it literally says from like that. Let's talk about music, but let's start by talking about the Fertile Crescent. And it's like a whole story about dinosaurs, and you're like, what? And then you realize that it's because the soil. The soil is powerful.
We're
It
gonna get
grows
sued by
plants
ACM
and
here.
has
Take those
that.
secrets away.
We've talked
their
about
book
them.
Is public. That book is a book used at all music colleges across the U.S.
We've talked
are
about ACM
secrets.
enough on the show enough to where they should be fucking sponsoring us at this point for trying to do their fucking
Hey,
job.
if
trying to
I would
help
have
them
stayed at
out.
ACM, they were gonna let me use their rooms to record.
See?
but I
doesn't
just
fucking
never.
matter.
And then I would have had a straight line to all these like artists that were like studying there and everything. And
You wouldn't even need me.
I ran out of money. I ran out of money for school. So, but I was told I had a talk with the dean, and I had a talk with one of my teachers. That's actually the guy that does color music, and both of them said that with your grades and your knowledge so far, they were like, honestly, you're wasting your money here. So I said, okay. So I just never reapplied, never went back.
I just want to let y'all know that we have it on record that Jonathan Grissom is too good for the ACM Academy. The people that run the place told him so.
Yeah,
So
that's what I feel like. No,
there's
not
that.
really. I'm not good enough because I wish
No,
that I
that's-
knew that
that's-
knowledge.
that's
and I
exactly-
can't get a
that's
job.
exactly what we said.
I'm not saying that. I do not think that I'm good enough for that.
I'm
I don't
saying
think
it.
I'm
I'll say it.
Hey,
intelligent
for the
enough for
record,
that.
he never said that the grades were too good.
Yeah, I don't think my grades are too good.
He's like, looking at your grades. You're wasting
Yeah, they weren't too good. No. Looking at your grades, you're failing, man. You need to find a new place to live. No.
Okay, this took a completely different turn than I thought.
You guys want to play some music?
Yeah. What do you got for us, John?
Let me see. We got BFG Mix 5, and then which I don't know what the
Mix
BFG is.
5 wasn't okay.
And
that
then
means-
Junkyard Dog. I'm guessing that's an Elvis cover.
No,
No?
actually, both of these are original,
Okay.
unreleased Straight White Buffalo tunes.
Oh,
And,
released on the local earshot, huh?
I mean, they
I mean-
have
Pretty
been
special.
officially released.
I mean, I've done this before. I'm pretty good at it, releasing
It's not-
music for people.
not his first rodeo.
Oh, sugar, treat me low. You give me heart, I'll be your junkyard dog. Oh, mama, you can be so mean. You give me heart, I'll be your junkyard dog. Oh, mama, way up, get you cooking out here. You give me heart, I'll be your junkyard dog. Oh, mama,
is Junkyard Dog. You want to play the other one, or do you want to talk about this one?
We'll talk about this one for
'Kay.
a little bit. So this was actually an immense, like, a lot of closure happened with this one. I wrote this song whenever I was like in my 20s, and I'm 34 now.
God,
I
you're
don't know if
young.
I'm supposed to say that, but
You're a young little kid.
big corporate gas station, anonymous gas station sex bill's gonna fire me for. You're supposed to make them think you're young, but well, that's why I need the gas station sex bills, but no particular brand, because I'm old now. Anywho, freaking up. No, it was just it's so nice to finally get that one done and out. I mean, it's not out yet. We tracked that probably about a week and roughly, I'll say a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. I'm time blind right now, and then I just actually did one tiny little bit of it 2 nights ago. I'm not that time blind. But so yeah, this is coming down the tubes and fixing to get released, and I'm really blitzkrieging trying to actually put some music out there. And all this whole session and whatnot was just done through networking, like, and again, like, I just want to stress on just like get to know your other bands, man. Those are your freaking dudes, and those are the people that have some experience, more than you do, more than likely.
And take their knowledge. Like if a band's been around longer than you, take their knowledge. Like understand like what they're telling you, because a lot of times there's members in our studio or in our scene, and I'm not going to mention names, but there's people in our scene that whenever people vocalize certain things on groups and stuff, they'll say, "Well, I know better." And I know everything, pretty much. I know everything about everything. And it's like, no, you don't. Like try to learn from others. But whenever you go on these like groups, like I read one, and it was like, this booker saying that they're like, yeah, I'm struggling so much with booking and all this kind of stuff. And then this individual came on there and was like, well, I'm booking all these shows and I'm doing this. Well, you're in a band, dude. You're not a booker.
Right.
Just because you grab your friends and you book shows with your friends does not make you a booker. You're a booker if your whole job is being a booker. Like, that's a booker. A person that works at Blue Note that books people all the time. And then all these bands are like, oh, well, I never get booked at Blue Note. And it's like, well, I mean, bookers the problem with booking is that there's some bookers that they like what they like.
Right.
And they want everyone else to like what they like. The problem is that you can't, to be a good booker, you can't do that. You have to be willing to open up, just like how I am with the show. You have to be willing to have people on that you may not like their style of music or something like that, but you can see where other people would like their music. You can understand that they would like their music, but you may not. It may not be your thing. I mean, one of my favorite people in the music industry out here that I think a lot of people can learn from is Malaise. On Instagram, Malaise is owned a thing called The Mountain for a long time, and it was a music company, and it was basically based around teaching artists how the industry works, step by step. And she's an awesome person. Do I fully understand some of her music? I mean, a lot of it has like train noises and like all sorts of weird little sounds and stuff. I don't understand all of her music. She has some good songs. I don't listen to her kind of music. It's all piano music and stuff that are songs like I don't really.
It's great. I didn't know who you were talking about until you described it that way. Though I was like, oh, I know who this is.
No, I know what.
I know who this is now. Like after you describe it, like how she makes the music.
Yeah, that it has like weird noises and stuff.
Yeah.
Like she's on Instagram and stuff. She follows the show. She was on the show, and local artists out of like another state. She found the group. Like she found us through there. Then there was the lady that found me, and I forget the name of that person, like that band, because I've interviewed a lot.
Right.
And it's been a long time since I've done this stuff. But there was a lady from Norway that messaged me randomly one time and was like, hey, can you do a remote interview? My publicist wants me to do this. The publicist doesn't know how big my show is or how small it is. It's just that like the thing is that getting out in publicity and doing that is part of it. and all the books will tell you this. All the music industry books that tell you all about every little step and everything like that. Another thing that the industry is facing is the whole issue with AI. Is your music mastered? Because whenever, like, your music right now, is that mastered? Is that a mastered recording?
No,
or
no,
is that no? Because it's still being in a
it's
working
still
recording.
being
It's a working recording.
mixed and mastered.
Yeah,
still,
and so because like once you have a master recording, you can submit to these playlists and these groups on Spotify.
so
You can put on
nobody listen to
Spotify.
that recording again if you can
Yeah.
watch this episode multiple
Yeah,
times.
and if you do steal it, massively steal it and send it out all across the world like they do the old way, like
Not yet.
like
We're-
Napster.
We're giving a lot of
Not
very,
yet. Just
very
not yet.
mixed signals here.
Just
A
not
lot of
yet.
mixed signals to our
I'm just kidding.
listeners.
But no.
Still music, still the music. No, I'm just
It's
kidding.
like the fucking
No,
Ted,
still the music.
Ted Lasso man. You do whatever you like.
You do whatever you like. No, yeah, and he's like, don't do this. Do whatever you like.
No, live.
But no, the big thing though is I don't know. I've gotten where I've gotten to, like, not that that's like anywhere to brag about, but just like it's amazing, like the bones people throw you, and it's just like I try to keep in my mind ever present reciprocity. Like I think about all the people that have thrown me bones, and I don't want to put it out there like it's some burden or like bad thing at all, but like that weighs on me, as in like I'm always thinking about like, or keeping them in mind, that when can I pay this back forward, especially to being the recipient of a bone. I can't wait to be in a position to throw a bone back, like, and never forget that stuff. Like, and not that people are keeping score, because I mean, almost everybody that I've, years down the road, I'm like, I'll reach out to them, like, dude, like, I feel like you guys threw our band some mad bones in the past. And 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh, I don't look at it like that at all. And I was like, I don't care how you look at it. That's how I look at it. I feel indebted to you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
come on, like, any way that I can make it right, at least setting in my heart about it, like, and just don't forget about who helped you up along the way. Like, I mean, everybody needs some help, especially in this starving artist world,
Yeah,
freaking-
because starving artists more than one ways than one. So
for real though.
Cotton White doesn't just like receiving bones; he likes giving bones too.
I love giving bones. That's my favorite. It's like Christmas, okay? Like half of the love is given,
Yeah, it's a bitchin' Christmas sweater you got, by the way.
Oh,
That's
thank you.
nice.
And actually, so funny thing about this Christmas, it almost brought me to tears when I got this. One of the band guys, same band guy that made the free Cotton White T-shirts.
oh, nice.
He gave me this Garfield Christmas sweater. Freaking Taco from Lowdown Weasel. There's a plug for those stinkers.
Yeah.
But that's another rock.
I still need to interview them. They always sneak out and do
So
weird shit.
There's a bone. There's
Yeah.
a bone.
another
You give it-
2-piece.
Yeah, I need to interview him.
Two-piece punk
I've
rock
been wanting to
band.
interview him. I just want to have an interesting conversation with Taco, and he always just kind of like, yeah, and then he just kind of
disappears. like-
disappears on me. I don't know,
we had to get out there and go do some Christmas shopping last time you were talking to him, evidently.
Oh, really?
I mean, clearly.
Yeah. All right, so BFG, what does BFG stand for?
Big freaking guitar.
Okay.
Or
And,
big freaking gun if you're like a Duke Nukem fan,
Pretty sure it's Big Friendly Giant, but we're not going to get trademarked on that. We're just going to move on.
All right, we're going to play that.
Big man on the guitar, leave a big red bear, that's what she said. Big man on the guitar, pay the devil his dues just to sing these blues.
All right. I believe the first time that I heard uh, BFG was at the Grand Royale, and I think that you were like premiering it or something because you were like, "Here's a new one," and then you just like started playing it, and you were like, and all it stands out to me because it's like what was that? What'd you say it stand for? Big
Big freaking guitar.
freaking guitar,
I
and
mean-
and and then the song you're like, guy on his guitar or whatever, like
Big
that
man
big
on a
yeah
guitar.
on a guitar, yeah. And so like and then you do that. So, kind of where did like the style of that song and like all the ideas that you had inside it come from? Like whenever because it seems like it has like a way to it,
Well,
it goes up and then it goes down and
It's
it goes.
funny that song. I feel like is written as a joke. Like it, it's just supposed to just be like kind of just this big goof. And then when we did it in the studio, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. Like, and then my singing style, I was kind of emulating Jerry Lee Lewis, like, which is kind of odd. That's not one of my go-to singers or musical influences by any stretch. But that's the vocal style I was chasing, and obviously I did a terrible job at it because I'm sure nobody else in the world will be here. Yeah, that's Jerry Lee Lewis,
Yeah.
But nonetheless, that it's just like it was supposed to just be a big fun thing, and funny as well. And then when we recorded it, it just like listening back on it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so heavy. Because like, so our recording, and this is so weird. And I mean, one of my buddies who is solely responsible for us getting Junkyard Dog recorded, Nevada Romo. He's from the band Anti-Mortem, and he plays with Texas Hippie Coalition.
Okay.
Just like solid dude. Totally, it's been a lifesaver for me. Shoot, my brain went blank. It's this zero Dr. Pepper, I tell you. Freak it out. But no, we play live in the studio, like so, like, and him being an engineer also, or a producer and engineer, he really pointed out to me that most of the industry, or most everybody, all the other bands and stuff, don't typically do that. Like the approach is like what's created in the studio is for the studio. And it's like, man, I'm just trying to capture what we do live, so I'm trying to play live in the studio. And I mean, we're not trying to do some like super magical stuff that we can't do live. I mean, literally everything, all of our music that we make is what we actually are playing like live at every show. So like, I mean, and our prerogative is to be that good. So like, it's there's no like, oh, you messed up a little bit there, so let's just like go back and fix it. No, we had to play that perfect throughout the whole dang recording, which that just takes some practice, and to kind of bounce back to what you're saying for any newcomers, man, get good. Like, and I don't mean that in a pretentious way, but like as a band, like practice. I mean, I don't practice my guitar nearly as much as I should. Like, and I'm slop master over here, but but my point is, as far as the drums, like what we're doing together, like you got to be on it. Like I trust him to know those parts, to know those stop on a dime, the way we wrote it, and he trusts me too. So like you got to be on your stuff. Like bring every show like is Madison Square Garden. Like be on your A game. Like
Yeah.
like opportunity. You should be fearful of opportunity. If you're not ready for opportunity, be ready for it, and also be honest with yourself. Like, there for the longest time, we weren't ready for like any and everything. And now I feel like we're at a spot to like bring on the world, like, and that's through doing it for a long time and taking it serious and making sure we're on our stuff.
Something that I want to add to that is something that I heard a long time ago, and it's about the difference between a amateur and a professional. An amateur does it until he gets it right. A professional does it until he can't get it wrong. And that's a big thing. And it's hard, like, you can be pretentious about it, man. It doesn't matter. I think, like, everybody should strive to be, like, well played to a certain degree. I watched this mini documentary of you guys ever see Metalocalypse?
Yeah.
Death Clock, yeah.
I
So-
love it.
So Brandon Small did a small documentary. I think it's still on YouTube. It's like 45 minutes long about how they make like one season from start to finish. He's like sitting there with Pro Tools and his guitar playing. Most of the time, like he hardly is ever in the recording booth, like talking and doing the voice. So most of the time, they're just trying to come up with the music, for the most part, or they were. This is long ass time ago, and he talked about how they're actually coming back through to just put in a plugin for them. Death Clock's supposed to be here within next couple months or something, but he was talking about how he's with these guys that play drum and bass, and he's got one other guitar player that are really good. Brandon Small compared himself more to like Toki Warrentooth than he did to Squizgar, because he's like he's a good guitar player, but he's just like too nervous. He drops his guitar. He does a lot of stupid shit all the time, and everybody like strives to be like, but not everybody can get to that point. And so he applauds all the guys that recorded like the whole show with them, because it was a lot harder finding like a really solid drum player and a really solid bass player that would do like the whole show from start to finish. And even when they do perform live, like he's like, dude, I could drop my guitar like 2 or 3 times out of the show and I know it's still going to sound good because of everybody else being on point and playing really well. And there's a lot to be said for that. I think having like a group of guys you can really depend on. I think something that I really commonly see in the music industry as a whole is a lot of guys just not taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I was with a buddy of mine who wanted to start a band. He asked me to manage it, and I said, sure. This is like years ago. And he wanted to play with this one guy who played guitar, and he always showed up like hour late, usually drunk.
That's most bands.
Ju-
the drum
yeah.
part.
Well, I mean, getting like borderline blackout before you start is like, it's hard to keep up with. Like, and when you are all trying to, you do it together, it's like, there's something that I really appreciated about Brad whenever Brad and John and me started doing the show. Is like Brad said it best, like in the beginning, it's like, it's a business. You get together, you each have your part to play.
Yep.
You all have to be knowing what it is that you're doing, and you all have to take it seriously as best you can. Like, it's supposed to be fun too. It's a fun business.
But it is a business.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so
and
many.
I'm discovering that, you know.
And I'd say the number one thing for all newcomers, and especially the old timers, double especially them, is, dude, like, don't be try not to cuss. Don't be what's
Be a jerk.
I don't know.
Don't
I
be
can
rude.
only think of the cuss.
What is
don't
the not
be-
cussing thing? Is this like a religious
I got
thing?
baby fever
Hold on.
real bad, and I just want to be worried.
Like, I was like really critiquing him, like appreciating what he's doing. But
Okay. Now, hopefully I didn't interrupt that too much. I had a phone call. Okay.
So people showing up messed up, like drunk or just too high or just a mess, you know? It's like, dude, I don't know. Like, I'd like to think, I mean, I'm not even going to say if I was like already an actual like rich, famous rock star that I wouldn't do that. But, you know, it's like for crying out loud, dude. Like, I don't know. Taking everything serious, every opportunity, every time you have to go perform and do the thing. Like, you know, if you want to be professional, act professional. Like, if you want to be treated professionally, I sure as darn do. You know, like, conduct yourself professionally. You wouldn't show up to your day job just messed up or what have. Gosh, not cussing is really tricky.
It really is hard.
Like,
I have a hard time with cussing because my dad was a master at it. In other words, like he was a truck driver, so like every other word was the F word, you know, and so I have a problem with it. But like
I do
also,
too, and I'm struggling.
and then I also like I was in the military for like basically 6 active and 2 inactive, and that's what we do. We just bullshit. And
I got
cuss
a
and all that.
solution
So-
here. Either we could just like, so you guys ever watch the movie Fantastic Mr. Fox? Seen that?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
have to say words that are not like
You just say the word cuss every time you're gonna cuss.
cuss.
You just-
yeah. Cuss.
What the cuss was that?
What
you
the
know?
cuss was that? Yeah.
Cuss housed.
Or my favorite is Recess. Have you ever seen Recess, the cartoon?
Yeah, long time ago.
So there's an episode, and they created the word called womps, and instead of saying this sucks or whatever, they would say this womps.
There you go.
And so you use the word womps for everything. You just
You could do womps,
but
or we could just like meticulously edit this thing and replace every swear word with like a guitar riff, like they did.
Oh
in
my
the
god,
Metal
that
Office.
episode worked out very weird,
can't.
man. I like he did that to one of our first episodes. He edited it and he did that, and it was so weird to listen to because
Yeah,
it's like
just every other
little
every
Doug's
other
quacking
thing
and
was
shit.
taken out.
Like a whole
Yeah.
guitar solo.
It was
Yeah.
hilarious, but it was like quacks and like all
Yeah.
these noises. Okay, so we got to wrap this up. I have to go do something. But I want to talk real quick because we did kind of go over it. But okay, so you got an event coming up on January 17th at Speakeasy. We want to make sure that we mention this again so that everybody knows. And it's called Big Trouble in Little Boomtown.
Big treble.
Big Treble. Sorry, Treble. Yeah, Big Treble.
There's
Which
too
is
mu-
a
There's
It's
too
a
much
pun off
wordplay
Big Trouble in Little China.
No,
Yeah,
I-
yeah,
I
yeah.
got
You
that.
see
Yeah,
the
I
poster,
saw
like-
it. Yeah, and somebody else, whenever I sent you the thing, and it was a joke, and yeah, that was pretty funny. But what are the bands that are playing this? Can you go over
So-
their names?
That is a Mr. Splitfoot is a punk two-piece out of McAllister, Oklahoma, and those guys are the guy Robert Thurman. That's my dude, or I don't know if I'm doing a big boo-boo. Mr. Splitfoot. He's from a band that we used to play with called Action Bastards. That band is no more. They were just like the funnest, coolest punk band I've ever played with. Like, I love those guys. And they've just been good friends to the band over the years. And then Glass Smile, that's David Carlisle's outfit. So I've yet to actually see the band play, so I'm super excited about.
Plastic Smile?
Yes, Plastic Smile. It's like I said, glass.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, no,
bad.
it's fine. No, I mean, I don't know.
Glass.
just-
He always
just
has,
get
he
it on the
always has
record, it's-
interesting names on his bands. So But-
Let's get the record. What is the name of the band? Just for everybody to know.
Plastic Smile.
Plastic Smile. Okay.
Yeah. David Carlisle.
I gotta commit.
Seppuku. We're not doing that live on the show. That'll
And
kill.
then Could Be Worse.
Could be worse. That's the those guys. I love those guys. They're new.
Sounds like the name of a romantic comedy movie or something.
They're a two-piece.
Sorry,
There's
I
some
don't know
young
this.
guys, and it's such a breath of fresh air to see like young guys, especially doing a two-piece. Like, I'm really excited about those guys like hitting the scene. I want them to be doing as much as they can and as good as they can do it. Like, it's exciting to me. It kind of just reinvigorates me seeing the people in their 20s doing it. Like,
Is this one a
that's-
competition or is this just a play?
I mean, we're doing smack talk videos and what have you, but cat's out of the bag. We don't hate each other, so this one really isn't a competition. We don't want to do the same trope over and
Right.
over again. No, this one's it's all two pieces, so it'll just be kind of. Again, I'm kind of stuck in my own little orbit of two
Yeah.
pieces, which it's really exciting to me, at least. Like, I kind of want to make two pieces like a staple of Oklahoma City, or just Oklahoma Broad. Like, we're doing it the best. I'd like to think. Not that I've compared to other cities and states what they're doing two piece wise, which it's absurd. You shouldn't do a two piece, but we're doing it. We're doing it right, and it's like I put a lot of care and
I mean, the White Stripes were pretty famous.
yeah,
Those
those.
two piece.
I
all-
guess they
all the way
did
back.
it right. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
Well, no, they probably just knew somebody in a recording studio.
yeah, and there's
because he is a pretty known artist
But
before that too.
Jack
though.
White is obsessive.
Yeah.
But there's great legendary two pieces going all the way back to even like early Americana. Like having an acoustic guitar and somebody just playing drums. There's not anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I mean, you
It's
could call like Hollis doing two piece work whenever whenever he's on his acoustic doing his acoustic sets and his buddy's sitting there hitting the
Yeah.
wood, the box drum or whatever.
like the
'cause it's
flat
just a
duo
tap, yeah, the little tap
jets.
drum.
Because
Because that's the only thing I could say that's hard with those one events that they do where it's like the jam session ones, because really the whole tear down and build up of drums, if an artist don't want to use someone else's drums, is kind of hard for an event like that because you have all these bands and they all come to jam together, but then they're all like tearing their equipment down and then putting the equipment on stage, and it's just like this whole process.
Well,
you know,
maybe
whenever they're doing
that's
those
to kind
things.
of like fill it too. But like Royal Blood, I was asking about that earlier. I don't know if we were recording that on the show. Royal Blood's only two piece. It's like drum and bass, but it's not like drum and bass like techno. The drummer has it's like a 29 piece set, if not more, and then he uses short scale basses, like 2 guitar strings, 2 bass strings on most of them, just different for each songs. And he uses like 15 like Marshall cabinets or
Oh yeah,
whatever.
no,
Yeah,
Royal
it's
Blood's
totally different.
awesome. Like
Yeah,
they're doing it right. I mean, honestly, if you're doing a 2-piece, you really probably should be doing bass and drums. It makes sense. And I mean, Royal Blood, he's doing all the octaves on bass, which is just so smart. Like I admire it. I think they're doing it so right. I just already like I'm a guitar player at heart. That's where my heart is. And then also like I just already had I was just in too deep gear wise to go swapping gear, and I don't believe in selling gear because like it's like getting a car. You drive the car off the lot, it's instantaneously loses its value.
Yeah, the only thing I have ever owned that's equipment wise that gained value was this. That was the only thing, and it was all because during the pandemic, all these people got into it, and I was able to get like a July sale at like $400 for it, and it's worth like $600.
what he's pointing to is a Zoom PA track that
Yeah, yeah.
records multiple lines at the same time, and that's what we've used.
It's a perfect product for podcasting, and actually, it can be used. They have a Zoom live line is what it's called. I think it's called. That one is used for bands that want to record at home, and it can do just as good of recordings as a lot of studios if you don't have the money for a studio. So
A 2-piece band that I really love, me and my wife really love.
Straight white.
She'll have to.
I know.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's just another bone in there.
you got that Ron. What is it? Ron laugh. Going
Ron
on?
Swanson laugh.
No,
Don't-
no.
don't do him
Ron,
that way.
It's supposed to be Mickey Mouse. Is what I was.
Yeah, no, I was
shooting for.
thinking of.
I just need the gloves.
Now we're gonna get copyrighted. God
What
damn
is it? Mickey Mouse isn't copyrighted no more. People are
yeah.
stealing that shit and using it.
I think it's over 100 years old. A
Damn,
favorite
that mouse is old.
favorite 2-piece band of mine that you got to check out is a couple of guys called King Kong and Barbecue Show. It's 2 separate guys. So one of them's King Kong, the other guy's Barbecue Show. And the guy that sits down plays like rhythm guitar, and he has like a kick drum. And then there's the other guy that's standing up just playing guitar. They wear like leather outfits with the nipples cut out, and they wear like masks, and it's kind of
Now
crazy.
I know why you like them.
Oh yeah, thanks, Cotton. Just put all my private stuff out there. No, but they play some really popular. I'll show you before you leave, and we probably can't play it here. We don't have the time. But they play like a couple of really popular songs. Some of them were even on commercials, and I just really love it. At first, I thought it was all just one guy, and some tracks maybe it just is because one of them like writes the majority of the songs, but they perform together, and it's fucking killer. It sounds like a whole band, but when they're playing together, you can't even tell the difference. It's like a 50s rockabilly style
Heck
type
yeah.
thing, and it's so cool. I love them, so I want to get to see them. As far as 2-piece bands, that's probably my favorite above all of them, even the White Stripes, and I never thought that I'd say that. Meg White's a terrible drummer. But
That's
I mean,
beside the point, though.
right? Well, all the chiming means that we gotta be wrapping
Yeah,
this up.
I'm getting called again, so I'll probably call Alex back. So, yeah. So I guess we'll wrap this up. Cotton White. Yeah.
Yeah,
always a
appreciate you
pleasure.
being on the show, man.
Straight white buffalo. Buffalo. Straight white buffalo.
I was trying
Oh,
to
doctor.
get 'em
Wait,
both at the
doctor.
There you go.
Doctor.
Doctor,
And
All right.
DUI.
All right.
doctor's in the hallway.
As for the Local Earshot podcast, we work on the Value for Value program, but I'm actually about to start doing commercials. So if you want to support the show, you can go over to thelocalearshot.com. The website is under construction right now, but there is a note link under the show notes that have ways that you can donate and accounts that run the donation side of it if you want to donate. Thank you for listening, and we will see you on the next episode. Thank you.